14 minutes past 9, Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Why are you here? Why do the English cross the Rub al-Khalid?
They're looking for the lost city of Ubar.
The Ram of the Pillars. If they find the Ram, we are all dead.
Let not the world deceive thee with its beauty. It is the dream of a dreamer, a mirage of the desert.
The cup of death will be filled for thee. It's all in English.
Yeah, it must have been trained. Here we go.
Dun dun! Did he say if they find the rum, we're all dead? I'm not sure exactly what he just said there, but anyway, Uncharted 3 is the name of the game we're looking at with Gerard Campbell at stuff.co.nz, Game Junkie NZ on Twitter. Morning, Gerard.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm very well. The Uncharted 3 out on PlayStation 3, highly anticipated game.
Yes.
Was it the rum they were looking for?
Well, rum, pirates have rum, there's some pirates in there. And actually, funnily enough, I don't know whether I should say this is a spoiler, but at one stage there are some pirates that Drake has to fight. He bumps into some empty rum bottles, and he says something like, "Rum, oh, there's a surprise," or something. So, yes, maybe they're hunting for the rum. Captain
Right.
Morgan's rum, perhaps.
Perhaps
But
so.
yeah, highly anticipated for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, okay. Obviously, it's the third in the series. Were you a fan of the previous games?
Oh, very much so. The developer Naughty Dog, who did the original Uncharted and then Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, they're a company that's known as one of those developers that can really push the PlayStation 3. And, visually they've just got better and better. And, I think in terms of probably the leap technically or visually from Uncharted 2 to Uncharted 3 isn't as great as it was from 1 to 2, as often we find in these sequels. But, I mean, this is it's a stunning game, and so I've always been a fan of the series. And, it's very almost Indiana Jones-like, a bit of swashbuckling, smooth-talking, charming hero Nathan Drake, who this time is trying to track down ancestor, or he says Francis Drake, who apparently discovered a secret hidden city in the deserts in the Middle East, and he had some sort of magical properties in the water, which is all I'll say in this place. But it's very it goes like he goes from all over the place. It starts off in London. There's shadowy characters who are trying to track him down. Trying to grab the Drake's ring that he has, which sort of helps in solving clues. And, the Uncharted games have always been a mixture of gunplay, exploration, and puzzle solving. And it's the same here. There are the puzzles are fairly sort of simple. You might have to use your notebook to sort of solve, glyphs or puzzles that you see written on the wall. You've got to follow certain secrets or move things to sort of match. But, it's another solid game in the series, in that the fact that it is the strong characterization in it too. The characters really have developed a lot in the last few games.
Yeah, as you say, it looks really cinematic. I mean, if it was this game was a movie, would it be Indiana Jones?
Oh, very much so. I think the two have a lot of similarities, and something that you'll notice is that it must be pushing the PlayStation 3 to its absolute limit, because it does look gorgeous. But there are also some really strong set pieces, and I noticed that there are some. There's one level where Drake has to, and it was a really inventive level. One level where Drake had to sort of work his way through a ship graveyard after being captured by these pirates, and then he has to get on board this derelict, I guess, cruise liner, which the pirate captain has got himself boarded up, hold up on.
Yeah. And
what will happen is a lot of times is that you'll get to a certain point and the camera will pull right back, and you'll actually see how huge these levels are.
Wow.
So it's very cinematic. Very, very movie quality. And it's probably one of the most the biggest movie quality games that you've seen. It's a very cinematic experience. It's very voice acting is really well done. The characterization is really well done. It's probably the closest thing you get to a movie on your console.
Wow. Okay.
But of course, that's not to say it's perfect, because it has a few niggles and bits and pieces. But
what would be a niggle?
I guess for me the biggest niggle was there seemed to be a really huge difficulty spike in the combat, sort of towards the last quarter. And of course, they want to try and push the envelope and try and push things, but at one stage, you've got swirling desert around you, so you've got your vision's impaired, and you've got to get to this door that you've got to go through. But you'll find that Drake's got to take out 2 armoured trucks that have got guns mounted on them. He's got 3 or 4 guys who've got laser sights firing at him. You've got 2 guys up on towers, left and right, and you've got to try and get those guys out, get up to those towers, get the rocket launchers, and then shoot these vehicles. And then, of course, there are guys that come through, heavies that have got almost plate armor on them and shotguns, so you can't sort of take them out as a fallout. So it just seemed that the difficulty seemed to really spike at those sort of points. And also the hand-to-hand combat was really good, but I sort of felt at times it sort of turned into a punch. They would grab you, you'd have to mash the circle button to break out of their hold, and then you'd press triangle to have to duck, and then punch again, and then they'd grab you again, mash the circle button. So I felt at times that the melee combat fell into sort of almost like a rhythm game sort of thing,
Right.
Tap, circle, triangle, punch, circle, triangle.
Yeah.
And I've heard people criticise the gunplay, saying that it's not as good as Uncharted 2. Because because Uncharted 2, I think personally, I have said on the blog that I thought that Uncharted 3 was probably the best of the series, but I've thought about things, and Uncharted 2 probably has still set the benchmark for this series. But I think in terms of anybody looking for the PlayStation who's looking for a really cinematic experience with a really good story and satisfying gameplay most of the time, they're going to be pretty hard pressed to find something better than this, I think, really.
Uncharted 3 out on PlayStation 3. Check out more Gerard Campbell at stuff.co.nz. Of course, the Game Junkie blog there in the technology section. Also, Game Junkie 2.0 as well, where you'll find the podcast that you're in as well. Do you want to plug the podcast?
Plug the podcast. This was some other Kiwi Junos that we generally do it every Sunday, but it's generally just a chat about general gaming things that are happening. So that's pretty good fun, I think. We ramble from time to time, but as you tend to do.
And that's up at... where can you find that?
I think it is on iTunes actually as well, and I pop it up on the blog as well. So
what's it called?
Do a link to that. Well played.
Well played, that's right.
Well played.
And well played indeed. Twitter.com/GameJunkieNZ. Thanks, Gerard. See you next week.
Thank you.